So just the other day, we saw the SEC finally drop their lawsuit against Ripple, and that is huge for XRP. When that happened, I saw some price action happening that was frankly shocking to me. And I'm not talking about the upward momentum. I'm talking about the lack of upward momentum, to be honest with you. What a lot of people in the crypto industry expected is when the SEC lawsuit against Ripple came to a close, it would not only be a catalyst for XRP, but it could be a catalyst to send the prices of even Bitcoin higher. But when you really think about it and you understand this market and you've been in this market for an extended period of time, you might realize that almost nothing is going to send the prices of Bitcoin higher except for right now the macroeconomic picture. And that's tough to live with right now. That's tough reality to be dealing with right now if you're holding crypto and XRP. Now, we have tremendous trading opportunities on moves like these, and what I told my audience just a few short days ago when we saw this lawsuit come to a close, I told everybody that I was actually in a short, and I am happy to announce that that short played out exactly as I predicted. The price of XRP on the excellent news that the SEC dropped their lawsuit, the price shot up, yes, and that was great. Why was I disappointed? Because it didn't shoot up like past $3 or higher. And again, with the temperature of this market, I'm not that surprised. But when I saw the price of Bitcoin get to 250 or almost $2.60, I think was the highest point it reached the other day, I saw and I noticed that it was a weak pump. And this is a huge story. And so if you have a huge event and the price action is to the upside, but it's weak and the overall market is weak, the thing that happens next, I think, is pretty obvious. And it was. And I said XRP could come back down to like $2.30 something cents. I think I said 233. Well, I think it came down to 235. Now, coming down from $2.55 or $2.60 down to $2.35, that was a pretty good call. I mean, that's what happened, guys. I mean, it came down from these recent little pump levels, and, we had an event, and what do you call that? You call that a buy the rumor, sell the news event. And we are having the sell the news event. Now, I don't think that XRP necessarily needs to fall lower, but I think you had some people that bought on the news or bought on the hype of the news. I actually said on this channel a little while ago that this last weekend, I said to you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if even next week we saw this lawsuit come to a close. And it was something that I didn't like to come out and say all the time. I wasn't one of those people that was saying tomorrow the lawsuit's gonna end next day. I didn't like any of the day. I would always joke around. I would always have fun. I'd say, the lawsuit ended for the 978th time today, because it never ended. And it'll end when it ends, and that was always my take. But then this last weekend, I came out and I said, hey, this lawsuit's actually probably going to come to an end soon. And there was a lot of people that I think were on top of that as well, and they buy the rumor, right? Well, then the news, it got a little bit of a pump, just as you kind of do see on a buy the rumor, sell the news event. And then we had the weakness and the sell-off. And to be honest with you guys, I'm really impressed with the sell-off in the regard that it's not crashing in any way. XRP is an incredibly strong token right now. There's no doubt about it. If you are holding XRP as a major part of your crypto position, you're probably very satisfied with the price action right now. Because if you look at some of these other altcoins down right now, some of these things are down 75%. Just massive, massive amounts. XRP is still way up from its lows. At one point, it was at 30 cents. It's almost up 10x from the bottom still. And a lot of these other altcoins are not. Some of these altcoins are still up a little bit from the bottoms, but, memes like Pepe or Sheep, they're down 70-something%. Even coins like HBAR are down a tremendous amount right now. Not as much as some of the other memes, but there's a lot of coins out there that are just frankly struggling in this market. So I wasn't really surprised to see that we didn't get a mega pump. Now, you might be surprised to hear me say that, but I take things as they are, guys. And For a while there, I was a believer that when we saw the news, we would get a mega pump. And I've talked about that because that makes sense. But not in this type of crypto climate. It's not a hot market right now. It's just not. The meme coin trenches seem to be dead. Do you know? Think about this. XRP Army. At one point, everybody was talking about XRP. Yeah, in November, December. People were talking about XRP meme coins as well. Is anybody talking about XRP meme coins anymore? No, not really. Not anybody in any kind of major way. But almost everybody was talking about them for a minute there. That's when you know things are frothy, when we're talking about meme coins on XRP, which was just like some mind-blowing thought back just a few short months ago. So where do we go from here? I had a successful short play out from the $2.50 XRP level all the way down to the $2.30 level. I've closed out that trade. If you want to make some trades, you could sign up for Blowfin using the link I've got pinned for you guys in the comments down below. Check it out if you haven't done so already. You get up to a $5,000 deposit bonus when you sign up. We had a trading contest going on there recently, and that's over, but I'm sure there's going to be more to come, so keep an eye out for that. Where does XRP go from here? Well, I think the answer's up. If Bitcoin can hang on to the $80,000 level, and it does look like our total market cap still is establishing some sort of bottom, right at this $2.6 trillion, $2.61 trillion price level, which is right where crypto was at its March highs from 2024. It looks like we're getting a floor here. I would be surprised if XRP fell below $2 unless we saw the total market cap take a slip to the downside. Our biggest catalyst, if the XRP lawsuit isn't the thing that, got XRP to pump up or the market to move, well, what is going to be the big thing? And unfortunately, it's really boring to say this over and over again, but I want to give you guys daily updates on price action, and I want to give you guys a day-to-day update on where my thoughts are with this market, because I'm very tuned in to this market, and I think you guys have seen that by now. Though I want to remind you guys, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just not a financial advisor, but I love crypto, and I'm going to keep the content coming because I know people want to see, what's the thought of the day, and that's really what a lot of these are. And the thought of the day is, XRP is probably not going to fall down below $2 unless crypto slips. And our catalyst, as boring as it might be, is going to be the Fed pivoting. And we're probably going to see that in June. Now, I can't wait to get back to my computer to look at some of the numbers after the FOMC meeting. We're going to get the Fed minutes coming out in a few weeks to get a look at some of that, to see what the Fed actually, had in writing. And it's going to be very interesting to see what took place at that meeting. But we already saw Fed Chair Jerome Powell come out. That didn't crash the market. It was kind of a non-event, nothing really changing in his language. So, we got to keep an eye on the Fed minutes coming up. We got to keep an eye on the CPI data as that continues to come up. And we got to keep an eye on the Fed Watch tool to see if the odds of a rate cut are going to go away for June, because right now there's still like a 80% chance or a 70% chance that we're going to get a rate cut in June, and likely, as the Fed kind of alluded to, we're probably going to get 2 rate cuts this year, and that's what we need. If we get that, we can get our altcoin rally back. We can get Bitcoin back on the track of going up. I still think we're in a bull market. I think this bull market goes into late 2025. When I say late, I mean August, October is the expected ending of this bull market. And so, yes, we are running out of time, but there is still time left. If you look back in November and December and you look at some of the price action that happened for some of these coins, things move quickly in crypto, and I think we're going to continue to see that. I think we will go into another bear market at some point, especially for altcoins. And so I urge everybody, when you have an opportunity and you bought low and you have the chance to sell high, I think it's a great thing to do. If you want to do some trading, take some profit along the way, you could do so. Sign up for Blowfin using my link down below. That's all I got for this XRP video I want to share with you guys. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, DCA HODL. I'll see you in the next one, y'all. Peace.